Hey guys, Arthur here. Hope you're doing well. Having a really great day this video. Alright, I wanted to give you guys an update of the rental of this Octoserver that I got. And you guys probably saw the video a couple days ago. I set it all up. It's got 6 3090s in here, an AMD EPYC 7543, and then 256 gigs of memory, and then as well as 2 by 4 terabyte NVMe U.2 drives. So it's rented out right now at about $24 a day on Clore.ai's marketplace. That is the GPU rental platform that I have this machine on, okay? So we're gonna go on the computer. I'm just gonna talk about, when it got rented, how much I'm earning a day on this Octoserver, how much power, okay, this thing is using, and right now it's using about 5 amps. So I don't think this is, whoever rented it is not actually, I don't really think he's using much power right now. So what's 5 amps times 240? That's like what, 1400 watts right now? So I don't really think he's doing much with this. But yeah, I have it hooked up to my 10 gigabit Ethernet switch, which goes into my 10 gigabit aggregation switch, my Ubiquiti system here that I have all set up for my network. So it is VLAN. It is by itself, so I can actually see how much network traffic this thing has used over the past couple days. So we'll talk about that as well. But just one quick thing, I just wanted to do a quick comparison. How much money this made versus my salad rigs, okay? I have a bunch of my AI rigs, or essentially just, they're just singular PCs with, high-end graphics cards on them. Notably, I got 3090 Ti, 4090s, 3080 Ti, 3060 Ti's, and I got some 3060 machines here. But right now, this whole PDU, okay, the singular PDU that I have all these machines on right now is using about 2755 watts. Okay, so 2.7 kilowatt essentially. So, and over the past 24 hours, all those salad rigs have earned about almost 12 bucks USD. So it's kind of funny to compare that my 3090 rig, okay, 6 by 3090s have been earning more than all of the collective salad rigs that I have, okay, 24 bucks a day versus 12 bucks a day, plus that rig, that Octoserver has been pulling less wattage. I guess whatever type of job that gentleman is doing, he's not using too much, 1400 watts versus my 2700 watts, all of my salad rigs. So I thought I would start off with that. That's a pretty interesting comparison. Yeah, I'll just have it on the screen here. You guys can see the comparison there. The Octoserver is obviously earning more money and then using less power as of right now, but that's going to be dependent on the, I guess, the workload that he's doing on that thing. And then versus, the demand, okay, that, Salad has with all these individual computers, which, it does change all the time. Anyways, let's go. I'll show you guys in the computer. Let's talk about the profits from this Octoserver, okay? All right, I'll see you guys in the computer. Okay, wanted to show you guys the earnings from my Clore.ai Octoserver here. Okay, so with the 6 3090s. And throughout this video, I will talk about just my, I guess, the hardware configuration for this type of stuff. It's not just a simple computer. This is like essentially enterprise grade stuff, AMD EPYCs and, server motherboards, lots of RAM, lots of disk space as well. High-end hardware, which is, quite a bit more in price than your regular, gaming PC. Okay, well, we'll talk about this later. I do want to talk about some other marketplaces as well for GPU rental, which I may want to try. We'll talk about this later. But anyways, let me show you first my Octoserver that's been rented. Okay, so I have it. The on-demand pricing I have is about $24. Okay, I have minimal spot pricing is $18. But over the past 3 days here, or 4 days. Okay, so I got it rented or online on July 6th. That's when I made the video and I released it the next day. But yeah, like I'd say about a couple hours later, 5 hours later, somebody rented it. Okay, so we got $23.47 on July 7th that I made. Okay, this is going to be also, by the way, I'm getting paid out in Clore. So my pricing here, how much I make a day, is going to be dependent on Clore.ai's price action. Okay, so it's this chart doesn't look very, very good. But if you look over the past 7 days, yeah, just looking at the price, it's a bit volatile, right? So as we look at my pricing here, which I noticed like the day before, if Clore's going up or down, I'm going to be earning less. So as I'm earning this into my wallet, the USD value is either going to go up or going to go down. But I'm being paid in Chlor, which I can then withdraw to an exchange in order to sell if I wanted to. But I may want to stake my Chlor. Okay, that's going to be something maybe I'll do a video on later on if I want to earn more Chlor with the Chlor that I'm essentially getting paid for my 6x3090s in that Octoserver. So anyways, that's the first day. Okay, I got a full day payout, about 23 bucks worth, okay, if I sold it right now. Second day was about 22.96, okay, for July 8th. And then here we are today as of recording. It's midway, earning about $13. It's not done yet, right? But this is just, I want to just show you guys over the past 2 days here how much I've been earning. But I believe my rental here, it looks like the gentleman or whoever rented it is rented for another 664 hours and 59 minutes. I think this is about, total a 30-day rental. So let's just say, I earn about 23 bucks a day on this rig, average a day, times 30 days. Okay, so I'll earn about 700 bucks in Chlor. Okay, and that's if I sold every day. In value, USD value for this Octoserver. So a good 600 to 700 bucks a month in, USD value. That's not bad. That's pretty good. It's going to be also dependent on, how sustainable or if I'm going to be rented for the next month. I don't know, right? Depends on the demand. I mean, that really goes with all of these rental platforms. There's so many different rental platforms out there. The variable of, having sustained rentals, it's all different, right? It's different from all different platforms out there. So it's really hard to say, am I going to consistently be rented at $24, for the next couple months to year? I don't know, right? And then that really begs the question. People are going to say, Red Panda, what's your investment? If you were to buy something like this, what would your investment be? Well, okay. So now that I showed you guys my profit numbers, let's talk about the hardware. Okay, so Octoserver, they have I'd have to say pretty competitive pricing compared to other alternatives out there. With Octoserver.com, I know like I'm sponsored with them here. They sent me one, to essentially do a review for you guys here. But just looking at their configuration page here of all the different hardware that you can choose, to retrofit your AI, quote unquote, AI server, just to rent it out essentially to in a marketplace. So for someone to do their hopefully AI workload or sometimes mining, right? These types of platforms, I don't know if I don't think he's mining, but all these platforms they're able to apply different applications depending what the person wants to do on your machine. There's, I think the popular one, Stable Diffusion. So I'm looking at Octospace here. Octospace has a platform, Nasana, Vast.ai, and of course Chlor. .ai here. But actually another thing I want to talk about, and we'll show this later, is the rented servers on Chlor.ai. I do want to do a comparison against mine. Okay, we'll do that shortly here, but just looking at the hardware that I have here. So let's build mine. Okay, EPYC 7543, that's the 32 core AMD EPYC that I have in this one. GPUs, okay, so there are no 3090s in here. All right, and I would probably recommend if someone's going to be doing something like this, obviously go for, looks like the 4090s are popular, but I think, it really depends if the 50 series is going to have that support, driver support, software support in the near future. They probably will. Then the 4090s won't be as popular per se, but I don't know. That's going to be your luck of the draw, or maybe you want to go for L40Ss, RTX 6000, 6000 Pros. These are also popular, I believe, for AI. But let's just say 65090s. All right, it's going to get expensive, right? And if you want to add also 256 gigs of RAM, let's go 128 times 2. Yeah, there we go. And then you need the SSDs. Okay, let's just do... let's do 2 of these or just one of them. And another secondary one. No, let's just do one. Network card. Sure. It's cheap enough. 130 bucks, I guess. And then rails are included. C13 to C14 power cables included. No operating system because you're going to install that yourself. Warranty included. So price total with everything, the 65090s, okay, $27,000. Now, what if we just didn't do the GPUs? If you were to source the GPUs yourself, let's take those out of the equation. No GPU. Okay, so just the server itself, 256 gigs of RAM. 256, one 8 terabyte U.2 drive, that's going to be about $7,000 investment. Okay, just for the bare bones server itself, CPU, RAM, hard drive. Okay, network card as well. So then you're going to need to source your GPUs. So if you were to do, let's say 3090s, for instance, I'm not saying anyone should go out and buy 3090s for, this type of thing, unless you have them. I already had 3090s. Okay. So that's why I was able to, just like their picture here, retrofit it into their Octoserver. But, 3090s, I think right now you can buy them for like what, 600 to 800 bucks. So the cost base is obviously a lot cheaper. So maybe tack on, let's just say another $5,000. So maybe you'd be like 13 grand all in for a 3090 rig. So think about it, like the ROI, which a lot of people are going to, ponder here. And yeah, that's the biggest thing, right? When are you going to initially get your investment back on something like this? And the 3090s that I have, how long are they going to be able to be rented for, right? That's another thing. Like, is there going to be a lot of demand for this type of thing? Is there going to be a lot of demand for 4090s in the near future? Like looking at Vast.ai, there's about 5,300 of these things rented, or sorry, in total. I don't know how many are rented, but in total on the platform, Vast.ai, 5090s, they already have 1,300 and climbing. Last week, this was at like 1,200 5090s. So people are adding 5090s on Vast.ai in mass. Okay, it's starting to add up. So I'm not saying the whole AI thing. It could be a bubble. Things are getting quite saturated. But it really depends on the demand, right? On all these different platforms, people that are using these GPUs for Hashcat, Stable Diffusion, anything LLM, all this type of thing. If you're going to be investing in something like this, and another thing is you need to have the infrastructure. Okay, you got to have the internet. You need to have good upload. Like fiber internet connection is paramount. Like that is like the most important thing. Good electrical rate as well. Here I am with 74 cents, so I'm able to stay above water with this type of hardware. Not many people at home can do this type of thing. If you had 15 cents electric, maybe you could be profitable, but most likely, you got to be having a place that's like a data center, and you got to have the infrastructure to run this type of stuff. But let's look at here now. Okay, just looking currently, okay, with my rig being rented, I wanted to show compared to my rig to other people's 3090 rigs. Okay, so on Clore.ai, I can actually show the rented servers. So if I scroll down, you can see it says rent. That means these are not rented. But if I scroll down, I can see the ones that are rented. Okay. So there are actually a bunch of singular 3090 rigs that are rented. All right. So people are renting these out like $1 a day. But some of these don't really have high-end CPUs or RAM. So they're most likely rented for mining. Okay. But as we scroll down, okay, we're going to get to the ones that have better CPUs. Like we got 5950X, 13090. One's got rented for $2.40, right? This one's got 129 gigabytes of RAM. So look at this. This single 3090 is making $2.40 USD a day. I'm pretty sure that is currently better than GP mining at this point right now. So yeah, that 3090 rental is doing quite well. But as we go down, okay, I want to get to where, relative to mine, where mine's rented at $24 a day. I have the bigger boy, essentially CPU, memory, hardware, all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of 3090s actually decently rented. Okay, so here's an 8x3090 rig with an Epic 7443, only 129 gigs of RAM. His internet connection doesn't seem to be that great. And so it looks like he's got a rating of 4.25 out of 5. So he's only making $5 USD a day. So I don't know what's up with this guy, but I feel like he can make more. He's power limited at 300. Okay, so that's another thing. Some of these servers, yeah, see this one's rented power limited at 190. Mine is fully unlocked. TDP 420 or 450 or something like that. Completely unlocked. Okay, so as we go down here, you can see the rental prices are going up. This 103090 rig with an Epic 256, 8 gigs of RAM. Look at his upload. Look at his internet speed. That's 11 Mbps, dude. Mine was like 1 or 2 gigabit. So this guy's only making $12.50 a day. All right. So as we go down, all right, the most expensive one I can see here is 4 3090s, 7643 at 21.79 USD a day. Now, I had to go to another browser which I'm not logged in because then I can't see mine. So here's mine. Okay, look, it says rented 24 bucks USD a day. All right, so looking at, my competitors here, looks like these two are not rented though. But look at my internet connection compared to these guys. I think that's why my rig is rented, right? And looking at the CPU on this one, yeah, it's not as good. The E52698, the 7643. Oh, this one's a better CPU, same RAM, but I have 2 more 3090s. He only has 4 here. And his internet connection's not well. So I think this is why, look, I have a rating of 5.0. So I think that's why this one's been rented. All right. I find that actually quite amazing. So internet, like upload speed is paramount. And, the hardware needed, is very important. You can see reliability. It's not that great. This is the last 14 days. It's only been up for the past couple of days. So I'm assuming, hopefully I don't have any power outage or anything, but in the next 14 days, if this thing is up, I should have like 100% reliability, hopefully. So yeah, that's really cool. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that comparison there. Yeah, I think I have the most ballin 3090 rig rented on Clore.ai at this point. It showed all the rented 3090s, so that's pretty cool. But if I look at like competitors like Vast.ai, they have almost 2,000 of these things. Right? And wanted to compare the pricing, right? $8 an hour. So I think that pretty much falls in line with Clore.ai here. So if I'm making if Vast.ai charges $8 per hour times 24, that'd be about averaging 26 bucks a day for 3090s. All right. I wish I had 4090s and 5090s. Maybe, you know what? I'm thinking because I have the internet now, maybe I might buy another system. You know what? Let me know if you guys think I should get another one and maybe try to fill it with 5090s. Now, it's going to be a pretty penny. I had to invest a lot getting 5090s, but if you guys think I should try that for fun, or not for fun, to make money, obviously, that would be the play. If you guys think it's a good idea or not, let me know down below. But yeah, pretty expensive. The barrier to entry into this type of thing for, GPU rental for, these types of workloads, it's not cheap, right? I just showed you guys, like this is like $7,000, right? Not including the GPUs, right? If you just want the system with no GPUs, it's going to be like $7,000, right? So yeah, like I said, you got to have the infrastructure as well, internet, upload speed, etc. But $7,000 for something like this, and to rent it out to make this type of money a daily, it could be lucrative, but it's a risk. If you're willing to take that risk, if you believe in this type of thing, if it's going to last long term, who knows, right? I think rental prices, it's really going to depend on the demand. Is the demand going to stay there for that long? Nobody knows, right? Depends on how many more people are going to be like I said, like just last week, I saw this at 1,200 5090s. Now it's at like almost 1,400. So just think, like, how many other people out there are also investing in this type of hardware for GPU rental and to make money. Essentially, they're doing this to make money. So, all right, my friends, that's it for this video. Let me know if it was informative or not, or if I'm doing something wrong. Let me know down below. But yeah, it seems like this whole AI thing is kind of on the up and up for now, but we'll see how it goes. Gonna try this, keep on going at it in my crypto mining journey here, or I guess AI journey now. But yeah, pretty fun. Okay, I'll see you on the next one. Let me know your thoughts. Have a good one. Peace out. Peace out.